My name is Willie from the Willie Pewitt Golf Academy. We're located at Gateway Golf Course here in Romulus, Michigan. And did you know that 80% of the golfers never get formal instruction? So what we do at the Golf Academy here, we offer a free assessment of your golf swing, and then we sit down with you and write out a clear plan to meet your goals. We look forward to hearing from you soon. DetroitGolfLessons.com. How you guys doing today? My name is Willie. I'm the host of Conversations on the Fairway, and we're going to get this started right here. We want to say congratulations to Justin Thomas for winning the Players Championship this weekend. If you're a follower of golf, you know that I believe about 3 or 4 weeks ago, he was playing in a tournament and he made some derogatory remarks on the golf course, and I believe his sponsor was Polo, I believe it was, and they dropped him. So for him to win this weekend, in his interview he mentioned that, you know, how sorry he was for making his remarks, and if he offended anybody that he apologized for it, and you know, he won his tournament this weekend, you know, by the skin of his teeth, but he won a tournament anyway. A win's a win. So we want to say congratulations to him, and best wishes going out to the rest of the year. Before we get started, we want you guys to make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. You look at our website, which is www.TheWONtv. Okay, you can see all of our shows on there. Listen, it's a wonderful place to get a lot of your information from. Watch your favorite shows. We're just going to jump right in today, okay? This is the second part of our series on your health and your personal finances. And of course, today is March 15th, which means that people start receiving their third stimulus check, or if you haven't received your first or second one, I guess the IRS is saying that you possibly could get it in your tax return as well. So you'll have to kind of do a little digging for that right there. But the reason I want to talk about this part right here today about the stimulus check is that this is the third one. So for most people, the first one you got $1,200, depending on how your family is. The second one you got $6, and this one is $14. So I am really, really interested in knowing, depending on your situation, what did you do with it? Okay, I'm very interested because, you know, a lot of people, depending on what industry you're in, some people have been on unemployment the entire time since March. So we're just about, I believe, a year into the COVID, what's happening right now in the country and throughout the world. And I'm just curious, okay, you know, some people, their situations, everybody's different. You know, some people, when they start getting unemployment, they were getting whatever the state gave them plus an additional $1,200. So I just really, really want to know, how did you handle that money? For some people, you made more money on unemployment than you did working. And then you had some people that were making a good way, say if you worked in a factory, a plant, or one of the auto industries or something, and you were making, I believe you get 70% of your income, but they added an additional $600 to it. So I mean, you were almost making what you made if you worked. So my question is this right here: what are you doing with it? Are you being responsible with it? Are you just blowing money? I mean, you know, this conversation came up the entire weekend, okay? Here in Michigan, the weather was just above, I'd be like mid-40s. No, I take that back. The beginning of the week started off in the 60s. The first 3 or 4 days were in the 60s, okay? So, I mean, all the golfers were on the golf course. The phones were ringing. I mean, people were just out. I mean, tired of being pent up. They were getting out. They were golfing. They were on the driving range. They were talking. They were conversating. And the weekend came up where I believe it was on Wednesday or Thursday, the president signed a new bill. And on Saturday, some folks start receiving their money, and most definitely people start receiving it today, which is the 15th. So my question is, what did you do with the money that you've been getting? Because, some people are literally, they might be in a worse situation now than they were before this even happened, because number one, now you're at home. Number two, you're not going into work. Number three, to me, this is the perfect opportunity to make a move in my situation, okay? Everybody I know is different. But if you took advantage of the extra money, okay? If you were financially responsible before this happened, I believe that most people are in good shape. But there are some people that have been literally just partying. Literally, this has been one big party for a whole year. They're still behind in their bills. They're still, it's the same old cycle. They're still on the same rat wheel. You know what I'm saying? To me, this is an opportunity to sit back and say, you know what, let me look at my finances and say, what can I do better? Because most of the time when this COVID's going on is that a lot of people, you couldn't go to the movies, you couldn't go out to eat. Some depend on what state you're in, but things are just starting to open back up. Texas is just fully open back up. No masks, no nothing. Just pretending like COVID isn't even here, okay? So my question is that, I've always been told by some of my mentors is that they would say, you know what, during the times that were bad, a lot of businesses were started at those times. Okay, they look back on, when our parents were going through things in the late 60s and, when they had the oil shortages and had really long lines to get gas and, so on and so forth, things that's been happening in life. But this right here is really the first thing that I can say that I really remember of the country really being in a position like this where, on one hand, depending on what industry that you're in, it's been totally just wiped out. And other industries, such as mine, had an increase of 14%. It's just incredible how the golf industry exploded, But one of the things that I know helped was when people were getting that extra $600 a week in unemployment, okay? They were getting, now it's an extra $300. Somebody's like, man, that's way too much money. But it just seems to me that, if you're a responsible person, you were doing the right thing. But if you were irresponsible, okay, literally, I've gone through parks, just driving past them. They're out there barbecuing and having a good time and doing whatever they want to do, and they're acting like there's nothing going on. Okay, so I'm just being conscious and just being aware of, you know what? If you are a person that is patient, you've been doing your due diligence to look into something else or to add on to what you're doing, okay? If you're getting money that you had, getting more money than you've been making before, I tell you what, alcohol sales are up. You have dispensaries. They're making a fortune right now. Okay, it is absolutely crazy what's going on right now. But at some point, this is going to stop. And nobody is paying attention to, okay, yes, they did extend the unemployment to, I believe, the additional money till September 6th. There are things in place that they, have extended it, but man, I'm going to tell you what, at some point, the music is going to stop, okay? And I do not want any of my listeners or my followers to get caught in a situation where, I know people that are in the situation that they're losing their houses. Now, before COVID, they were already in trouble. Okay, so when COVID hit, that even put them in a worse situation. Okay, so, people they're not really talking about this in the news. People are they're losing their houses right now at this point. The situation, there are programs in place that you can get help with that, but a lot of people either don't know it or they're just riding this out. This is really a time to reevaluate what's going on with you, because at this moment, I'm going to say this again, okay? I really need people to really, share this information and, let's get some things in order. For me, myself, I'm doing very, very well, and I'm very thankful for that at this moment in time right here, okay? But I also, at the same time, am seeing people that are neighbors and that they're struggling, okay? So I made the choice to help people in this time right now. Some people will just keep going on and keep what they're doing, and they think that, once they get their unemployment, they run right through it. And then they're looking for a loan, or, they're just being totally irresponsible at this time right now. So this is a tricky time again. So we're getting stimulus. You're getting tax returns. This mixture right here is you can look at it one of two ways. Either one, you can get on track, okay? Depending on how many children you have in the household and get things on track, okay, and be responsible, or people are just being totally irresponsible at this time. So, I'm really concerned about this mixture that's going on right now, that, people are really thinking that this is the norm, that what's going on right this second is like it's the norm. And I'm telling you, at some point in time, the music is going to stop, and I don't want anyone to, it's going to be a shock. Okay, it's going to be a shock to your system. So, I want your health to be good, and I want your finances to be good. Okay, and what's going on right now is that it's like a gray area right now. Okay, and some of the things that you can do. Number one, start a basic savings program. You might say, well, wait a minute, hold on one second. If I'm just getting enough money to get by, how can I start saving money? Well, I'm pretty sure that if you look around your house, there are some items that you're not using, okay? So I'm just going to give you an example, right? I was going through my garage, and I found some things in my garage in my basement I'm clearly just not using. So what I decided to do was that get on some apps like OfferUp or Let Go or things like that, and it's a small step, okay? Start putting things on those apps, because I'm going to just simply say it, everybody's not broke, okay? Everybody is not in the same situation, okay? So you have to be creative right now, okay? These are free apps, okay? You take a couple pictures of it, put it up on there, and literally, if you stay on top of that right there, I started doing it just out of my spare time, okay? You go outside, so I go back in my garage, I pull out about 5 or 10 items, put them on OfferUp, boom, they're gone, okay? Now, I know some people say, oh, I don't want to do this right here. Hey, listen, I recycle other cans, man. I found so many in my garage. Okay, going out recycling cans. So that is just the beginning step. Okay, you have to start somewhere. I don't care if you save $5 a week. Okay, you have to have a starting point. Okay, 5 turns into 10. So let's say, for example, you have $100 saved. Okay, so my question to you is, how can I double that 100? Okay, what talents do you have that you can double that 100? Okay, now I'm saying double 100 in a legal way. Okay, we're not talking about anything illegal. Okay, because I don't want to watch over my back and see if somebody's watching me or somebody's following me, or we're not doing that foolishness. I want you to actually think, if you had $50 or $100, how can you double that? Okay, then you take that 100 and you double it to 2, and then you double it to 3. It's going to start multiplying. Okay, but what is it that you can do? We're going to start right there. Okay, so after the show, what I want you to do is I want you to start walking through your house, okay, and just start seeing simple items. You will be so surprised what you think is old and you don't even use it no more. Somebody else sees that as a treasure. So what I want you to do is, like I said, if you're in a situation where you're watching this podcast, this TV show right now, and you're saying to yourself, okay, hey, listen, I'm looking at a light bill. I'm looking at, I need to put gas in the car. I need to put, I got to pay my phone bill. Let's start off with the phone bill, which is the lowest one. Okay, what do you have in your house that you can put on one of these apps that you can sell those items? I mean, there's nothing going to be easy and quick, but what you'll start to notice is that these little small steps. Okay, I've talked about it before. If you go back on YouTube and look at some of my podcasts back 3, 4, 5 months ago, I'm talking about the exact same thing. Are you better off now than you were 3 months ago? Or were you better off 3 months ago than you are now? That's how I start judging stuff. Okay, so like I said, I went into my garage. I found 10 items. Okay, I found 10 items in my garage that I clearly don't use no more. In my garage and in my basement. Okay, snapped a couple of pictures of them, boom, put them up. Literally within 3 hours, those items are gone. So that tells me something right there, that you have people that are selling and then you have people that are buying. Okay, so my thing is that if you start to get into that, most especially if you're laid off, if you're furloughed, if you're working from home, I mean, there's so many things. I'm pretty sure. Just look around your house. Okay. Second thing is, this is what I noticed just driving in my neighborhood. Right around trash day, I see people putting out stuff in front of their house. Once again, you may think they're old and used up. Other people look at that and say that's a treasure. They may see a cabinet. They may see some chairs. They may see some, and there's some people that I noticed that this is what they do. They drive around. So this lady put out 4 chairs. Okay. I just saw the chairs. I didn't stop and look. This guy saw the 4 chairs in a pickup truck. He kind of examined them a little bit. I guess he determined, hey, listen, I can replace the cushions on them. I can paint them, freshen them up. Boom. I bet you he puts them on let go. I bet you. He got that for free. That's 100% profit that he's going to make once he replaces the cushions and paints the chairs. I mean, this is absolutely crazy what's going on right now. To me, that's free money. Okay? I have recycled cans. Look, I didn't do anything to get the cans, but I recycled those cans. That's free money. You know what I'm saying? You have to look at, to me, there are so many opportunities out here, but what some people want is they want someone to bring it to their doorstep. They want them to bring that business to their doorstep. It doesn't work that way. Okay? I'm going to tell you this. That's not how it works. That's a very small percentage that somebody's just going to walk up to you and hand you the keys to that business, and you didn't do anything to work for it? No, see, that's not for you. If somebody just hands it to you, that's not for you. Okay? I'm telling you, there's a trick to that. Okay? So, listen, if you just get up, I know you've been at home for a while. I can't believe that this is a year that went by, but I'm going to tell you what, there's a couple of things that have happened. There have been millionaires made, and people have lost millions because they got comfortable. Okay? And when things like this happen, you have to learn how to call, and I say this a lot, you have to call an audible in the middle of the game. Okay? You got to switch up. You got to change things up. Okay? Because if you stay the same, nothing's going to change in your life. And I know that's a strong word for some people. They don't want to change. They just want things to be status quo. I mean, that happens in relationships. That happens in business. That over time, when you have success, you're like, hey, this is what it's normally supposed to be. And then when something happens, you don't know how to adjust. Okay? Remember back in '08, remember when General Motors and Chrysler filed for bankruptcy. If you ask people back before 2008, they would have never thought General Motors would file for bankruptcy because they got comfortable. Okay? They didn't want to make these adjustments. Foreign car companies came in, made them change the game. You cannot stay comfortable. Okay? For your success, for you to get through to your success, you have to stay uncomfortable, because that's where you don't stay in the box. Your success is outside the box. Okay? You just have to have enough courage and confidence to step outside that box. Okay? Step outside your comfort zone. Step outside of what you're used to doing. Okay? And what happens sometimes is that, you know, you get a little uncomfortable, and all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, you feel like, well, is this really going to work? See, that's when I know that I'm in the right spot. Okay? There's something I did this weekend that I was a little apprehensive about. I said, man, you know, I wonder, is this really going to work? I stepped outside what I was comfortable with doing, and I promise you, I could not believe the success that I had this weekend. It was just a trial. I said, well, you know, if I'm just going to try it for, you know, 4 or 5 days and just see the response that I got. Well, listen, I'm going to tell you what. The response that I got, it was well more than what I thought was going to happen this weekend. Okay, so that's how I know that I'm in that spot right now. I'm in that place, okay, of being uncomfortable. Okay, so like I said, I just encourage people to really look at some of the things that I just talked about that are simple. Okay? It could be some clothes that you have in a closet that's just sitting there. Okay? It might be a situation where you can go ahead and donate those and take a tax write-off. It depends on your situation. Okay? But if you're in need of money, okay, I suggest that you go. Like I said, you know, you may have a suit in your closet. I mean, I found a couple of suits in my closet that I clearly can't wear them no more. There's nothing wrong. Matter of fact, I found one that was brand new that I didn't even get altered or anything. Boom, put it on let go. Brand new suit. It was old to me, but it was new to someone else. Okay? I was talking to a neighbor. You know, I had a car that I had some problems with, and he said to me, hey man, you know, why don't you just go ahead and put that on Facebook Marketplace? I had never used it before. Okay? I took a couple of pictures of it, put it up on there, boom, out the driveway. Okay? I was just going to just scrap it and just take whatever they're going to give me. I ended up getting triple what I wanted from the original. You know what I'm saying? So what I know is this right here. Step out of your comfort zone. Get up and do some things that you're not quite comfortable with. Okay? And you're going to find success in that. Okay? Like I said, depending on who you are. Now, like I said, everybody's personality is different, but I'm going to tell you this right now, okay? When you go to step out like that, you're going to get some resistance. Okay? It might be from your husband, it might be from your wife, it might be from your neighbor, it might be from your brother, it might be from your sister, a cousin. Why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? That's crazy, But I want you to understand something. When you have a good idea and you know it's a good idea, and someone gives you some resistance on it or says, man, why would you do that? That's pushing a button that they're not comfortable with. Okay? Don't let their limitations, don't let them being scared to do something stop you from doing what you want to do. Okay? I'm gonna tell you this quick story here, and we're almost out of time. I went to a gas station, okay? I had a big truck at the time. So I go into the gas station and the guy followed behind me. And I went up to the counter and I said to the guy, I want 50 on pump 2. And as soon as I said 50 on pump 2, the guy behind me said, oh my God, I would never do that. So I turned around and asked him, well, what do you mean you would never do that? I would never fill up my car like that. Well, to me, that's normal. But to him, he's not comfortable with filling up his car, or he doesn't have the money to do that. So all of a sudden now his being uncomfortable with the situation, or his financial situation, is saying, listen, hey, red flag, red lights, hey, listen, man, I can't believe this guy is actually doing that. Okay? But it doesn't sound like it's a big deal, right? But after I pumped my gas, I thought about that for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Even if he only had to put $15 in his car, he said he would never do that. I found that very interesting, that he tried to talk me out of filling up my car. Okay, to me, it's like a waste of time. I've gotten into the habit now since what's been going on in the country, to buy extra stuff now. Okay, remember when when it first hit and they shut everything down, you couldn't find toilet paper anywhere. But I'm gonna tell you what happened to me is that every time I needed to get some toilet paper or get some items that were like that, they were always there. Okay, I didn't fall into that situation of thinking there's lack and I'm not going to get it. My thought process was that every time, and I would say this, going to the store, that whatever I needed would be there. And there are stories that I can bring people in here that will tell you that I've gone into certain stores, and as soon as the sliding doors open up, they were putting out the items that I needed right there. Right, I could not, at first I couldn't believe it. Even though I said it, I would say, I need this. I would say, I need wipes. I would say, I need this. I would say, I need bottled water. I would say, and when I said it, then I started to believe it. And when I would walk through the door, I would never have to fight over nothing. I would never have to argue over nothing. Matter of fact, I was buying other people's stuff. You know how they were limiting us to having certain quantities of whatever? I mean, you would go into certain stores, they would only let you get 2 loaves of bread, even though you have 6 people at the house. So you would have to go in, buy 2 loaves, come back out, go in, buy 2 loaves, come back out. No, what I did is that I would pay people, listen, I need 6 loaves of bread, or I need this or that. And I would say, listen, here's the money, go ahead and get it. Matter of fact, here's extra money so you can get some things that you need. Okay? And that's when I really dug into, there is no lack for me. But if you listen to some of those conversations in line, people were buying into being scared. They were buying into being there's lack. They were buying into all of this stuff that they were seeing on television. I never bought into it. I always said that whatever it is, I don't care what it was. I remember I walked into one of the big stores and I had never seen all the meat gone. I've never seen, this was crazy, right? But every time I went in there, they were putting out exactly what I needed at that time. So what I'm saying to you guys is that your needs are being met, okay? You just have to get creative and look at things a little differently, and you'll find that everything you need is right there in front of you already. So listen, I just want to thank you guys for listening to the show today. And my name is Willie Pewitt. I'm a host of Conversations on the Fairway, and we'll see you next week.
Isotonics Daily Essentials combines 4 essential supplements in one convenient serving. Our formula combats free radicals, increases energy, promotes strong bones and healthy teeth, and helps decrease stress and improve mood. Many of the most popular vitamins and minerals sold today contain artificial binders, fillers, and coatings that make it difficult for your body to break down nutrients. Using our unique and clinically proven isotonic delivery system, Daily Essentials provides superior absorption by rapidly delivering nutrients to your body. Our convenient on-the-go packs contain 1 capful each of our cornerstone products: Isotonics OPC3, Isotonics Multivitamin, Isotonics Activated B Complex, and Isotonics Calcium Plus. Just add water and stir. Start your journey towards optimal health today with Isotonics Daily Essentials.
DetroitGolfLessons.com.